Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for our webinar today. This is the November edition of Webinar Wednesday with 21st Century Leaders. And if any of you are not familiar with 21st Century Leaders, feel free to visit our website, www.21stcenturyleaders.org, to learn more about our program and what we do. And so this evening, we have the pleasure of having Mr. Mark Myette, who is a strengths coach and curator. And if you look below, his website is there. Just to give you a brief background of Mark, he has spent the last 24 plus years with Fortune 500 companies. He's been an advisor, a catalyst, a coach, connector, and several other things that I'm sure he'll talk about this evening. He's also a member of SHRM Atlanta. If you don't know about that, it's the Society for Human Resource Management. He has done thousands and probably more of career and performance assessments, developed numerous training programs, and facilitated thousands of training sessions. He has also earned his MBA from the Emory Gosweda Business School. So anybody interested in that might want to ask him about his experience there. And he's also a certified professional in learning and performance, and formally has added a certified strengths coach to his repertoire. And so at this time, I will turn it over to Mark. But before I do, just want to let you guys know, those attending, that this webinar is recorded. So if you miss anything, or if you just want to go back and review it, it will be posted on our YouTube page if you want to view it after the recording. We're also going to reserve any questions for our chat box to the left. So at any time, if you have a question for Mark, you can type it in the box to the left. You can either send it to everyone, or you can just send it to myself or Mark as the presenters. And so at this time, like I said, I will turn it over to you, Mark.
Jasmine, thank you very much. And thank you all for being with us on this Wednesday evening in early November. Hard to believe it's early November, but like life, time does fly. So I'm very enthusiastically here with you tonight, the day after, 2 days after Halloween. So I can relate. I have a son who is 13, a rising Grady high schooler, and a daughter who is 12. She attends Inman Middle School. They both currently attend Inman Middle School. And as Jasmine indicated, my focus is very much focused on people's talents. I have a website called What Are Your Gifts? And you'll get an idea of why I named it that way, because I believe, as you'll find out, we are all gifts wrapped in flesh. And I know tonight we're going to be talking about a concept called gifts-based leadership. Knowing that those that are listening to this recording or to the live presentation, leadership is a very popular topic. And for juniors and seniors in high school, it means many different things. So the objective of tonight's presentation, as you'll see from the agenda, will be for me to understand who's actually on this live call. We'll also talk about how do we define leadership, as well as talk about some realities to be aware. I'm trying to make it as realistic as possible, because this is life. And you're juniors and seniors, you're old enough to understand what some of the realities are. We'll get into also what gifts-based leadership is all about, and the $64,000 question that people will have, which is, how do I figure it out? And then we'll conclude with a call to action. As Jasmine indicated, if you've got questions, by all means, type them into chat to Jasmine, and she will interrupt me where appropriate. This presentation will go approximately 30 minutes or so. So what I'd like to do is I want to get people used to the chat function. So if you can, within chat, just share on the on chat who you are, what year you are in high school, and then also share one thing you'd like to get out of this webcast besides maybe a couple credits. So I'll let you answer those questions, who you are, what year in high school, and what you want to get out outside of just the credits. And then I'm going to continue on, and Jasmine, you can interrupt me at the next break in slides, and you can give me an update. But leadership. The key thing right here is all about what is specifically leadership. And leadership means many things to many people, but there are some core aspects to it. What I like to do is to bundle across also beyond the chat function, using the chat function, is just use a simple one single word that would summarize what you believe leadership to be. And Jasmine, you've got a busy night because I want you to share with me what people shared, a single word that summarizes what leadership is, because I want people to define it. We'll talk further about it, but I'm going to move on before we cover that. The important thing is the fact that you're involved in 21st century leaders. Your evolution, your development, your enhancement of your leadership skills is like a ripple on a pond. And by no accident, with you being in the center, your leadership skills and what you do within your next few years will impact beyond yourself, your family, your school, your community, and then also the world. That's, this slide reminded me that Any Meeting did convert some of my slides. And so when they see a little bit out of whack, it's because it rejiggered some of the slides. But most importantly, though, just understand that you as a leader will impact your family, your school, your community, and your world. Now, another thing I want you to share, this is, gosh, you didn't tell me, Mark, I was going to have to work so hard. In chat, also relate a name of a leader that comes to your mind. Just relate a name of a leader that comes to mind, and we'll talk about it. Jasmine, let's rewind to the first one, and I've kind of layered them on. But who do we have on the call?
So we have, it looks like from me scrolling back and forth, we have I see a few familiar names from our leadership team. So there's actually a few of them. So we have people from Stone Mountain, so people from Morrow, up in Alpharetta. We have people in Powder Springs, right here in Atlanta, Gainesville, Marietta. So we have a pretty good kind of every corner of the state, or kind of corners of the state. And then it looks like most of the people on tonight are juniors and seniors. I have a sophomore here. And reading these responses to your first question, it looks like a lot of students are really just trying to figure it out. So they want to know, how do they figure out, their kind of leadership abilities, and then understanding how, once they figure it out, their leadership gifts, to use your terminology, they want to know how to best use that for their leadership, and then how they can teach other people to find their gifts. So learning for themselves, and then learning how to share that with other people, for the purposes of being or teaching other people how to be a leader.
Excellent. And so what were some of the single words that came out from the definition?
So let's see. I got some people typing. They are going. So let's see. I don't think I had anybody to give me a single definition of what leadership is. So if someone wants to type it in there. Oh, we have supporter, accepting.
Guidance.
I have supporter, accepting. Example, serving. Keep going. Oh, wow. Powerful, uplifting, open-minded, motivator, model. Seems like some similar terminology here. So.
Okay. Excellent.
Mhm.
Excellent. And how I'm going to respond to every single one of those is yes.
I think
Because as you will find out, and then while I'm sharing this thought, I know I saw some names of people that they identified as
yes.
leaders.
I think I
So
saw Steve
I'll
Jobs, I
give you.
saw Hillary Clinton, I
Uh-huh.
saw, President Obama, MLK,
Yeah.
Michelle Obama. Yeah, those are the few I remember.